Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary. I just like that instrumental. Hello, hello, hello. OMG. I had something planned, but some news dropped out of the sky, and we're going to talk about it. But still, I'm still going to keep what my original title is, and that is Can Marilyn Manson win? Does he have a leg to stand on? Does he? But before I get into that, I am going to wait for a little bit. Hey, Lexi, how you doing? Oh, after this, Discord. Oh, we got some stuff to get into. We got some stuff to get into. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I am so glad. OMG, it's gonna be a good one. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He does, and guess what? We have the proof to prove it, but I'm going to give a little bit here, but I'm going to get in depth in Discord. I'm going to make sure that you all have the entire skinny. Okay, good. That is good. That is good. So am I. I am so glad that you all are here. I am just so blessed and thankful. I truly am. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you because you all are wherever you are, but I'm glad you're here with me. I appreciate that, and I do not take that for granted. Oh, oh yeah. Stay posted on Discord. I set up um, a lot of info in the what is it called? The resource section. So I'm sort of splitting things up to where we can really get into it. And oh man, what I have here is fuego, fire, 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 fire. Just when you think, okay, I'll put it like this. Now, Evan Rachel Wood and Ilma Gore have been quiet. They've been little church mouses, and they've been church mouses for a reason. When you're habladora, when you're a talker, and you talk, 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 you got to be able to back that stuff up. And I guess someone pulled Evan aside and told her to shh, cierra la boca. Somebody told her to be quiet. How you doing, Misery? Hello, hello. So, so the extra info, if you are a member of mine, you're going to get into everything. Here, I'm going to just give you just some, but for my members, we're going to get it all. And also, I have additional information outside of what I'm going to present. So, on that note, oh, before I get into this, what do you think about Amber Heard settling? What do you think about? What do you think about her settling? Hmm. What do you think about Amber Heard saying, "Okay, Johnny, I'm sorry. Look, I got $1 million that the insurance company's gonna pay you. I don't have the 10.3 million, but I got the million. Could you take the million?" You're right. You were absolutely right. You know, it. Look, it took her a long time to get to what everybody else knew. Everyone else knew it, but her. You said what Amber Heard had to settle. She didn't have the legs. Yeah, you're right. She didn't. Whenever you do a whole lot of this because you're mad, it all falls apart. Yeah, she is trying to get him to settle on $1 million. And, Johnny being a nice person that he is, he may go for it. But then if he takes $1 million, then I hope she has enough dignity in class as a woman, as a human being to say, okay, look, what I did was completely wrong. I'm going to drop my 2 million and just I'll give you your million and we can just call it a wash and go about our lives. Do you see Amber doing that? I don't want to answer for you. I have a thought in my head. I have a thought in my head. Ooh, that woman, she's a gift that keeps on giving. She is a gift that keeps on giving. But let's get to Marilyn Manson. Let's get to Marilyn Manson. Now, like I said, some info came out of the sky. Info came out of the sky, and I'm like, wow, this is huge. This is huge. But I will tell you this much. I said this in a previous video. I kind of saw this coming, and I said it without proof. Normally, I don't do that. Oh, okay, Lexi. Okay, I appreciate that. Um, I said in the previous video that Evan Rachel Wood will be liable for whatever Ilma Gore does because she's doing it in the name of Evan Rachel Wood. If Evan Rachel and let's stop and think about this logically. Let's stop and think about this logically. Now, we all have had these situations, whether if you were on the receiving end or if you were the one who were doing this. You had a relationship, you broke up on bad terms, and now you're with a new person, and a new person that you're with, you're not going to say, oh, well, my ex-boyfriend, he was tulips and daisies. No, you got your hurt feelings. Oh, he was some junk. He was no good. And then you start coming up with everything under the sun. Now, depending what kind of person you are with, if they're an emotional person, oh, well, let's go ahead and go get that dirt bag or blah blah blah. And Evan found a good person to tell her sorrows to, and Ilma was the one that acted upon it. Now, I said in several other videos that I felt a little bit bad for Ilma because she was acting upon Evan Rachel Wood. It appeared to me that Ilma was more in love with Evan Rachel Wood than Evan Rachel Wood was in love with Ilma Gore. That was my take on it. I don't know these people, and I'm pretty sure all of you out there don't know these people. But human nature is human nature, and we all have that. We all do certain things that we're like, why did I do that? Now, let's go ahead and recap real quick. Oh man, there was so much information that dropped out of the sky. I start taking some notes. Now the recap is this. Marilyn Manson is suing on these grounds. Well, he's suing on intentional infliction of emotional distress. We Tashira, how you doing? Okay, her address is mixed up, and because Marilyn Manson jokingly said he would be in jail. Okay. Hold on, but we'll go ahead and get to all that, okay? Before we start getting into not battling, but having this discussion, let's go ahead and present it. And then I would like for you to come up. You could call in or come up if you choose to. But let me first get through this real quick, okay? All right. Okay. Marilyn Manson's intentional infliction of emotional distress. His second was defamation. Third, hacking and impersonating over the internet. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. So those are the three grounds that that he's suing over. Now, okay, Lexi, see you back in 20 minutes. Thank you. All right, now these are the notes that I took. Now I thought it was quite interesting, and then I'm going to go to my PDF because it was so much. I'm like, I'm just going to outline. I'm not going to hurt my hand like that. Okay, to recap. Okay, again, Marilyn Manson is suing, recruiting, pressuring, and coached. I'm sorry, recruited, pressured, and coached would-be accusers. That's one. Along that, forged a letter from a real FBI agent, then alleged that Marilyn Manson was a child pornographic blah. I can't say it because YouTube would just uh, through the movie The Groupie. Um, solicited person soliciting a person that formerly worked with Marilyn Manson, uh, hacked his online accounts, just and manufactured evidence he exchanged illicit pornographic. I can't say the word and swatted. Now, if you don't know what swatted is, this is a horrible thing to do. Just to even mention it, it entails generating an emergency law enforcement response against a target victim under false pretenses. That is terrible. That is terrible. I'm just going to say that right there. Now, what has fallen out of the sky? Oh my goodness. Were the anti slaps. Now, I did a previous video about a month and a half ago about Marilyn Manson to where he won part of his slap, but the other part he did not win based on the, what do you call it? The FBI letter. So the judge let one part in, but the other part out, which is a good thing. But in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer. I got $2.50 plus $5 extra, so I have $7.50 worth of law. So if you listen to me, I guarantee you will be sued and in jail. Oh my goodness, I'm so silly. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. So I will go over some of it, and let me see, how can I do this? I should have put up my other computer. Okay. I'll go back and forth. Okay. Now, here, wow, this is a long one. Okay, here. Now, it goes back everything what I introduced about they recruited, pressured, all of that. So, let me see here. Now, this is what I find. Wood responded by filing the anti-slap. Now, what an anti-slap is this. An anti-slap is to be able to strike portions of a person's claim because he's filing a defamation, a slap suit saying that what she said was A, B, and C. Now, Evan Rachel Wood and Ilma Gore filed an anti-slap saying, I can say what I want to say because it's under the First Amendment. I can say whatever I choose to say. But within the anti-slap, you have two prongs that you have to overcome. Thank you, limited discovery. Thank you. You have two prongs that you have to overcome. One is, ooh, I wrote this down to make sure I did not mess anything up, is this, is the court considers if the plaintiffs made or rebutted showing the plaintiff's cause of action due to actions of the defense, meaning the speech. And that's one. And two is the plaintiff, excuse me, the plaintiff presents minimal evidence demonstrating the response is a probability. So it's more so up for the court to say, yeah, that does meet it or that doesn't meet it. That's basically what that is. Hey, Jessica, how are you? How are you? Good afternoon. I'm glad you're here. So what's going on is that now I'm not going to bore you with all of the legal jargon going line by line. I'm not going to do that to you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the other side. So if you write something, I won't be able to see it. Oh, but what I will do is I meant to put this down. I'm going to put the thing down in case if you want to come up. So here, Warner sued Wood and Gore for intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation, hijacking, and impersonating over the internet. Okay, now that's bad, my opinion. Now it says certain aspects of the conspiracy, specifically portions of two of Warner's cases or causes of action, and a litany of allegations were supposedly the First Amendment activities. Now, what he's basically saying is that, okay, first of all, Ilma Gore and Evan Rachel Wood, they objected over everything. Now, there were some things that Ilma Gore did not rebut or she just let it go because she would not, well, in my opinion, would not be able to refute it. Let me see. Tesoro says, yeah. The Goblin says putting uh oh, putting people prom, I'm gonna put it like that, or Pedialyte is a public concern, therefore the project or protected speech. There is my argument for okay, all right. I mean, I get that, but that's not what this is about as far as these are allegations, but that's something that you really have to prove. Um, and the allegations are true. Well, it's kind of hard to say that it's true based on if you just simply say it. You just can't say, well, no, you can say it, but it would not be wise to say, well, you're this because I say so. You're going to have some proof backing up what you're saying. And this is why Evan Rachel Wood and Ilma Gore are in the situation that they're in, because Ilma Gore went according to what Evan Rachel Wood said, and she acted upon it. Now, I don't think the Gobin argues that well, yeah, I mean, it is public concern, therefore, okay, it is public concern. That I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that. But however, in this case, or especially in the court of law, because he's suing based on her saying the things that she said. And from what I saw, she has offered zero proof on what she said. So, okay, let me ask you, come on up and show me. The link is down there. Come on up and talk about why it's true. Come on up. You wanna come up? The link is 2 posts above yours. The link is right there. Come on up. And if not, I'll give you a number to call in. Call in. I wasn't gonna do this so early, but if you I would like for you to. Okay, Lexi, okay. As always. Toshiro, come on up. Because here, it's not about what people say, it is about what we can prove. So, and I understand that you're talking about what other people argue. And I really don't listen to what other people argue. I actually go to the source, and that happens to be the actual court documents. And I do get it, but if you want to come on up, please come up. If not, allow me to finish what I'm doing. Okay. Sorry, I meant to put that up. Okay. Okay. Now, first, wood cannot strike the portion. Okay, this is what Marilyn Manson's thing is saying. Uh, Wood cannot strike a portion of Warner's cause of action that arises from the undeniable fake FBI letter. Now, a lot of this right here, what they're arguing is about the FBI letter, which is a huge one. It's huge. I'm wondering if Marilyn Manson is like, I just should have married her. If I would have married her, I wouldn't be going through all this. But then if he did marry her, I could imagine what his life would be like. Oh my goodness. Okay, the FBI letter. Wood's sole argument is why the FBI letter is protected. Protected activity relies on the false premise that Marilyn Manson or Warner claims arises from the filing of the letter in their custody case with ex Jamie Bell, while Wood's perjurious statements in California and Tennessee courts provide context. Now, keep that in mind. Now, remember, the FBI letter is saying that Marilyn Manson is this person that she's in a goodness gracious. Wait a minute. Okay, to share in a dinner of five. The Goblin got her information. Marilyn Manson clearly says the groupies is not. Okay, okay. But if you want to come up, please come up. Do you want to come up and say your piece? I would appreciate that. But right now we're talking about the letter, the FBI letter. Okay. The evidence shows that Wood told a third person the letter is so important to her work against Warner, and neither Wood nor Gore attempt to explain why if the letter not was not distributed outside. So outside of what she claimed that it was used for. Now, she said that she used it in her I can't because I'm working. Okay. Okay, Toshiro. All right. So 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 Marilyn Manson, I'm sorry, so Evan Rachel Wood said that that right there was used in her divorce. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. That's what she said. And that right there, by it being used in her divorce, so then the FBI letter is protected, it's private protection. What was the correct terminology? I don't want to sit here and protected activity. So Wood's case with Bell, Gore was involved at all. Hmm. Maybe Gore wasn't involved at all. Gore has nothing to say about the letter, zero, much less the fact that just before Wood and Gore were exchanging draft language, Gore has been pressuring prospective accusers on behalf of Wood and the Phoenix Act organization by referring to the fictitious FBI investigation of Warner. So, she's going to have a lot to prove, a whole lot to prove. And from what I'm looking, it's going to be quite interesting to see this court case. It's going to be very interesting. Mm, excuse me, my cafe au lait. Now let me get down a little further. I'm going to skip over some stuff that. Okay, wait a minute. Second, the court should strike Warner's cause of action that arises from Wood and Gore's effort to recruit pressure in organizing people to make false accusations against Warner. Wood's conclusionary assertion do not show the alleged conduct to be entitled to protection. Now, here, they want that out because they want to strike that out as far as them allegedly pressuring women or Gore pressuring women. Now, keep in mind, this is key. Whatever Ilma Gore does on behalf of Evan Rachel Wood, because remember, Evan Rachel Wood is telling all this stuff. She's telling Ilma Gore, he did this, he did that. So she's only going according to her side only. She never went to Marilyn Manson, never tried to find anything else other than, but this was what Evan Rachel Wood said. So whatever she does, I believe, I believe is going to fall on Evan Rachel Wood due to Evan Rachel Wood saying these things in her acting. But we're going to get more into that on Discord. So I'm going to leave that right there. Okay. The third, Wood cannot evade. Okay, I'm going to leave that one. Okay, no, I'll go ahead and give it. The third, Wood cannot evade liability for Gore's defamation statements about Warner. Wood's overbroad contention that any statement concerning allegations of abuse automatically triggers an anti-SLAPP protection that is not supported by any authority. On the mirror, all of Wood's arguments ignore that she can be held vicariously liable for Gore's conduct. And Warner can show why. And I'm going to leave it there, just that he can most definitely show it. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and okay. I'm going to save that for the cookies. Okay. Now, Okay, there is something else I wanted to bring up. Okay, where is it's over here. I preset some things and now I'm like, where did I put it? Okay, here. Here are some of the objections. Okay, here is one objection. Okay, this is the evidence objection. If you could see that, in connection with Wood's motion, the parties have, I need new glasses. They have interposed over 100 evidential objections due to yeah, I mean, what they did was they were objecting over everything. Everything Marilyn said, I object. I object. It has become ridiculous. So, just based on the FBI letter, you can imagine all the objections. And Ilma Gore, here is her. Okay, the court ordered Wood and the plaintiff and Gore and the plaintiff to meet up. And what they wanted to do was there were so many objections. It just got to the point to where that they had to reconvene and get another court date because of everything. And it got to the point to where, let me make sure I have this here, to the point to where that they were beginning to believe that it was a tactic to where Ilma Gore was objecting to everything that was relevant and objecting and saying that it was irrelevant to the case. And they're like, you can't make this you can't make this stuff up. I want to feel bad for their lawyers, but they signed up for that. There's just a whole lot. There is just a whole lot. Let me go back to the thing. I want to make sure I got that out there. Now here, the critical question is whether Warner's claim are based on alleged criminal activities, not whether Woods agrees she engaged in the activities. The merit is based upon the merits based arguments have not placed in the threshold analysis whether plaintiff's cause of action arise to the protection of the activity. Um, Stating that whether the plaintiff may have winning defenses to the cause of action alleging criminal activity, those defenses must be established by procedural tools, which is the anti-SLAPP, which he did, up and Garbasi he's on point, and then he gives an example of a law firm. Marilyn Manson's lawyers, they are good. They are very good. But I'm just a layperson. I don't know anything. Okay, there's something else I want to bring out. Okay, here. First, and this right here is the litigation privilege where it does not apply. And they're talking about the FBI letter, at least Evan Rachel Wood. First, Wood's argument misidentifies the act of underlining Warner's claim. Wood's declaration attached to FBI letter was filed with the percentage action. Um, They were absolutely immune from the liability by the litigation privilege. So this is just what they're saying. It doesn't mean that they're just putting that out there because they have to. Okay, here. Warner's claims is not based in the publication or the broadcast proceedings. So he's saying that it's not that it was published or broadcast, but he's saying is that Warner, and given Warner's evidence and the inferences are due to the weight, it would be improper to conclude, based on Wood's declaration alone, that the letter never saw the day of light. Now, basically alluding to is saying that Evan Rachel Wood used the letter only in her divorce proceedings. And that's why she took her son from California to Tennessee, because she was in fear of Marilyn Manson and that he was going to cause her harm and anyone involved in this case. And let me scratch Marilyn Manson, an international star, and that she was involved in an FBI. She was a witness in an FBI case. So that's where that's coming from. So second, even if Wood did focus on the right acts, the case she cites makes clear that an illegal act of forgery is not immune merely by submitting the forged document in an official proceeding. You can't you can't make this stuff up. You can't. In each case, the forgery was created for and arose out of the proceedings. Um, there, the defendants altered plaintiff's building permit. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading something else that let me go down a little bit because they were given. Okay. All right. In contrary, Warner's complaint does not only reference Wood's custody proceeding, but it's also that the fake FBI letter in the investigation was one of many tactics to recruit, coordinate, and pressure false accusers. And if you go back to Ashley Smithline, Ashley Smithline, if you go back to my other videos, it shows when she had a conversation with Marilyn Manson is innocent on Instagram. You can see Dominic Scalia, and he shows the conversation that he had with Ashley Smithline, to where she admits that Evan was pressuring her and that she didn't want to do it, but she was pressured into doing it, so that he does prove it. He does prove it. Hmm, I'm sorry. That cafe au lait is so good. All right. Okay. Prima facie is simply you're taking a document and you're submitting it into the court. The court is not looking at the validity, whether if it's true or false. They just give the assumption that it is true until you go over, and then if you find anything that is not true, then that's when you get into these proceedings. So Warner defeats the motion by making a prima facie shows that one, the defendant engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct with the intention of intention of causing a reckless and disregard of probability of causing severe emotional distress to the plaintiff, and two, the plaintiff actually suffered severe extreme emotional distress, and three, the outrageous conduct was the actual approximate cause of the emotional distress. Now, based on this, does anyone want to Um, Misery, my Discord, uh, it's what I have for my members. So we're going to go deep into this on after this live stream. So it's on my YouTube channel. In order to see it, you have to be a member, and then you'll get the link. So based on that, does anybody want to come up or call in and give your thoughts before I go any further? Oh, where's my number at? You can call in or come up. Let's see. I have my little cell phone here. I'll eventually be able to get to the bigger stuff, get the blog talk and all that other stuff. That stuff costs a lot of money. Oh, thank you, Lexi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, please call in, Lexi. I would like to hear what you have to say. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I should have all this stuff together. Yeah, but there is a lot of movement going on in this case, and I'm telling you, when I hope this case is televised, because everything what Evan Rachel Wood did, she did in public, and now she's trying to say everything what she did is private. Mm-mm. That's not how it works. Oh, you have to get your folder together. Okay. Would anybody like to call in or come up? And let me hear your thoughts about what's going on thus far, as the FBI letter, the accusations that he's saying that she has done a caused him severe emotional distress, faking the FBI letter, and the swatting. That is that is terrible. And swatting is very easy to prove because swatting happened so much to where he had to move. He and his wife had to move. Okay, great. Calling now. Fabulous. And then if you do want to call in, please let me know because I can't hear because I just have a cell phone. Hello, hello, BGD.
Hi,
Okay. Can everyone hear?
I don't even know where to start. Instead of Evan Rachel Wood in this FBI letter.
Before you do, I want to make sure everybody can hear. Can everyone hear? Please say yes, no. Okay, I believe they can. Go ahead.
I don't know where to start. Evan in that FBI letter. She said that it wasn't even referring to Manson after, she made it all public and definitely used it against him and his name was all over it.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to cover her tail now, so I still stand with I think it's all gonna backfire at them.
Oh, most definitely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm look and give you, like, Ilma is like saying that she is going off what Evan said, and then Evan is like, she spoke with the Superior Court or whatever, the Supreme Court, and she never mentioned it, who he was, but she took it straight to social media, and now she's like, oh, it wasn't even about Manson, blah, blah, but, like, clearly, like, there's so many screenshots and stuff of her saying that this is an FBI investigation against Marilyn Manson, and the objections, I was listening to that earlier. There's like so much I wanted to say. So like, I don't know. I just
before you get into that, let's go and take it step by step.
Okay.
All right. Now, the genesis of all of this, do you believe that she did all of this because he married Lindsay? Because I've been saying that for a while. Many people don't agree with me, but that's okay. We can agree to disagree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because she didn't say anything until, like, what was it? She went to the Supreme Court in like 2018. I think that's when Manson and Lindsay were getting pretty serious in their relationship. I'm not sure if that could be just like not true, but and then they get married, and she's like, oh, well, before he can hurt anybody else, he did this, and it's like, then they were attacking Lindsay, and, there's a lot of weird things pointing to the fact that it's probably jealousy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of as much. And do you think, because I've been saying, and people disagree with me, they think that Ilma Gore is a grifter, which I do believe. But do you think that Evan Rachel Wood used Ilma Gore as a guided missile?
Oh, yeah.
Against Marilyn Manson?
Definitely. Emma had like the knowledge of how to hack, and she was learning about hacking her sister's profile, and so I think Evan definitely took advantage of that to be able to do whatever she's doing and get into his accounts and find contacts and stuff like that. I know Ashley Walters had a big part on that too, as far as giving out the passwords and stuff.
Oh yeah, I have a lot on that. I was gonna wait for the cookies. We would do that in on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness, it's such fire. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I was looking at Bianco too, and she's not making any sense because she's. I gotta get the paper, so I'm not like telling you.
Oh, Esme Bianco. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
Like, what is this girl doing?
If Marilyn Manson turns around and just decides to sue her, right? Oh my goodness.
Where she's like, he promised this project, and for years, like, it never happened, and then she says in here that when she did go to his house, that he starved her. She had to, like, she would wake up and he'd be like over her bed and like told her that he was gonna rape her and stuff like that.
Oh, then, say grape or yeah, because YouTube is.
But then after all of that, then she ended up in a relationship with him. So
you can't make this up.
That didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you? I don't know. The court's gonna see it. The jury's not gonna be stupid. They're all gonna see and hear, and Ilma's objections. I believe the court marked that as it was like low-key harassment.
I have to look it up. But what she did do, and she with her trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
I happened to look up the case law.
I thought about doing that,
Oh,
but I never
do it.
got to it.
Do it.
I will.
The courts, the law that she used to say that she was trafficked was for children that come from El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico. So the last that I've learned about her was she's from England. She's not from El Salvador. She's not from Honduras nor Mexico, and nor is she a child.
So she lied about that too.
Oh my goodness! Like I said, and for the lawyers to even go for that, I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. They might end up like Elaine Butterhoff and lose their title on the bar.
Yeah, and they update the law in California because most of the trafficked children go through California. So they have they're always updating the law. Like I think every 10 years they update it. And the one that she used, I believe, was 2015. I have to look back at one of my older videos to where I reported on. I'm like, what the heck? Really?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And
I don't expect anything less than what they're doing. So I mean, they're gonna keep trying everything they can. And Eve Barlow, she finally showed her face and made a post on Twitter. Let me see if I can find that real quick. So I can
Eve Barlow.
what she said, because I was like, what? Out of the woodwork she comes. I thought she was done.
No, because I believe
now she's attacking Marilyn Manson.
She needs to stay relevant. She needs to stay relevant now that everyone jumped ship from Amber Heard. Now she's going to jump on this one here. Oh.
Oh, here it is. Justice for Manson posted this. It is, Eve Barlow said on Twitter, I guess during their trial next year, when Marilyn Manson's obsession with the Nazism and Hitler is revealed, it'll be Evan Rachel Wood's fault. Give it up. And then underneath it, where did it go?
Okay, wait a minute. Oh. Now, people use this term Hitler so freely, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in order to be in Hitler's realm, didn't you have to apply?
Yes.
Okay.
You had to pass all kinds of stuff.
Look, I'm not saying I'm not pro-Hitler or against Hitler. I'm just against people using that type of evil and placing it on the average, everyday thing when people get into skirmishes, someone lies.
Yeah.
And then to put that title, that horrific title, on something so minuscule, it's going to make that term null and void to where people are like, yeah, whatever, means nothing. You're going to overuse it. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then thank you again to Justice for Manson. She posted yeah. Or no, not Justice for Manson. It was Marilyn Manson. Oh God, I think Marilyn Manson is innocent. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, one of them posted that picture of Evan Rachel Wood, her brother dressed up as Hitler. God.
Oh, I have to give him a shout out.
Like, all right, let's go, Barlow. You want to fight? Let's fight.
Oh, Marilyn Manson is innocent on Instagram. I want to thank you so much. Thank you to the Instagram supporters. Thank you very much. I gotta go by your names. Oh, I should have written them down. But I want to give you a shout out and thank you.
There's
And
so
you
many
too,
good
thank
pages
you. And you
and
too.
so
I
many
appreciate
people
you.
doing such good work to get the truth out there. And
Yeah, we got to fight that good
I don't
fight.
think Evan expected this many people to stick up for Manson.
Oh, it hasn't even begun yet. That is the interesting part. It hasn't begun. This is the calm before the storm. Oh man.
Yep.
You know, and this right here, and I've said in other videos, and I believe that you can co-sign on what I'm getting ready to say, is that Amber Heard and Evan Rachel Wood has done a lot of harm to the Me Too movement.
Oh yeah, that Me Too movement, it could have been like a really good thing, but not when you're using it to accuse men wrongly. Like, and and it's not been proved or anything, but with all the proof out there, I'm gonna say he's innocent forever. Like, no doubt in my mind he's innocent.
Well, just based on the court documents, based on the court documents, but I have said that this right here is it has feminism around it. And we have to most definitely get our crazy sisters under control because they're doing some crazy stuff and we got to stop this. It is to the point to where bashing and hating men, and that is all men. When women do that, they have to look to their left and look at their sons if they have any. They have to look to the right and look at their fathers and their brothers and their male cousins and their husbands. And they're saying that all of you are evil. Now, if you have that kind of mindset and you're raising a son or your brother.
I don't know why that just clicked, but she does have a son. Oh yeah, I was talking about that.
You have a son,
yeah,
a brother.
I don't know, but I think if they could prove it in court, which obviously they can, that FBI letter was used to take her son away from Jamie Bell.
What do you think Jamie Bell's going to do?
That would look really down on her, and potentially she could lose custody.
Thank you. Thank you. Right there. Right there. Jamie, when you have a guy that is a good guy and he's putting up with your bull crap, and now you pull this, and you're showing your instability, you're showing your lies, you're showing your maliciousness, you're showing all of these negative attributes that you are displaying for the world to see. And then in another video, she also that I did, she also suggested that Marilyn Manson wanted to or threatened to hurt her 8-year-old son.
Yeah, that's in a lot of interviews too, or a lot of articles that he said he was going to grape her son and put him in a microwave and all kinds of stuff. But
yeah,
honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like, we got this scary looking guy on stage, but like, I don't see it.
She has to back all that stuff up. That's the thing. She's out there talking, and she's talking to the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion is not going to do anything in a court of law. You have to prove what you're saying. And the only thing what she has done was just simply said it. She did not prove a thing. And then her putting it in a documentary, which in my understanding didn't do very well. Like I said in many videos, you're going to get $2.50, Evan Rachel Wood, for your documentary.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm so silly.
No, you're good. It is really fun. I haven't watched it. I won't watch it. I need to be like chained to a chair with my eyes glued open to be able to sit through it. But I've had some people like fill me in on like the most important parts. And I did see the part where her brother said that she's always had an issue determining reality from fantasy. So,
well, I mean, I completely understand. Now, okay, she was homeschooled when she was in the 7th grade. Now, my thing is this. What occurred at school to make them take her out and homeschool her? Now, if you're going to homeschool a child, you must have a good curriculum to where you go from what you're going to teach, when you're going to teach, how you're going to teach it, and what materials are you going to use to get that information across. That's what a curriculum is, right?
right.
Now that goes across border. Now, she said that her parents took books, put it down, and when she picked up Lolita, what the heck was she reading Lolita in the 7th grade? And her mother was like, well, I was a little concerned, but I couldn't get the book. A little concerned?
A little?
A little, just a little? To where she started.
Like, put that book down
She,
right now.
yes.
And took it out of her hands and she wouldn't have had it.
Why was that even placed there? Just read a book and read it. And there's so much more to it. To where you I'm not going to get into the nuts and the nuts and bolts of it, but the thing is this, that had a lot to do with it. If you're reading things that are above your life's experience to the point to where she just started to take on that character as Lolita, down to dressing and down to the one sock and the heart-shaped glasses and her infinity for older men, that had a lot. Oh my goodness. A huge impact on her life.
Yeah, that's another thing that bugs me. Like, she knew how old he was, and there's a proper term of grooming, and it's not just you're 18 and you're dating an older man. It's they M children as like when they're little, and then like groom them to be their girlfriends when they're older. That's what grooming is. Like, it's not, oh, I'm 19 years old and I'm dating an older man. That's not grooming. That's, so that bugged me.
I think in my opinion,
Google the definition of grooming,
I think Marilyn Manson was groomed.
Yeah, I wonder that often. Like, I don't know, but like, I wonder, like, was she verbally abusive to her? I know she didn't like fans.
Well,
I know that.
there's a lot. There is a lot there, and there's a lot that needs to be resolved. And if you look at the people that she's in relationships with, her female friends that she's in relationships with, a lot of it is like a power dynamic. Her and Ilma Gore, just look at that right there. Who held the power in that relationship?
Yeah. Probably Evan, because Ilma, I know she struggled. She was, I forget the age, but she was homeless at a young age, and normally that would develop some sort of rebellious attitude towards the world. And so I think Evan and Ilma, they're like a power team where they're like, oh, you got this knowledge, and I have this knowledge, and then they got Walters in on it, like, because Walters had all the stuff. And I thought Walters and Ashley Smithline were the same people, so for the longest time I had resentment against Smithline because I didn't realize that there was a Walters. And Beatrice pointed that out for me.
Walters, and I said this in a previous video, I said that Walters was the girl that didn't fit in with all the cool girls.
Yeah,
and she didn't fit in, but now she has something what the cool girls need, And now all of a sudden now she's in with the cool girls, and look where she ends up at.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, that's another just opinion, like a thought that I've had is, after seeing like everybody's like, oh well, this is information off of what Evan told me. I think, oh crap, I lost it. I lost it. It's gone.
Okay, it's okay.
It was something about Evan, like maybe she wasn't very honest with the girls, anyways. That's kind of what I was trying to say, but.
Okay, but there's something I wanted to bring out. Okay, here at the very least, okay, intentional reckless conduct would, at the very least, acted recklessly. Multiple people confronted Wood about the letter glaring inaccuracies, yet she failed to veil the truth because she told one such person that the letter was so important to her work against Marilyn Manson. Wood argues that she did not file the FBI letter to cause Warner distress, but again, she focused on the wrong acts.
She brought, okay, hold on. She brought that, she changed that law in California.
Thank you.
Brought something to legislation.
Thank you.
Right before she attacked Manson. But she didn't mention his name in court. And, like, I don't know, either way, like, if Ilma and, like, the girls don't get in trouble, like, Evan is in deep shit. And
well,
whoever actually wrote that FBI letter is probably, oh, God, my language. Sorry. The other ones, they'll probably
Ilma, yeah.
I just...
Yeah, this we are going to get into in Discord, but I didn't mean to spend this much time on this. So after when I wrap this up, I'm going to put a link on Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, and then we can go ahead and work out exactly what time all of us can get together and go on Discord. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Oh, there is so much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there is. And I have a lot of opinion, but I studied Amber Heard's case. Like, I'm talking like I froze it, I slowed it down, I paid deeper attention, to the audio recordings that were out before the court case actually hit court. I can say I've seen a couple similarities already.
There's a lot. Now I had said in previous videos that I thought Evan Rachel Wood was the ringleader of all of this, because Evan Rachel Wood was at Amber Heard's court hearing, and she's running around saying, "Oh well, they're persecuting her because she's bisexual," when that had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah, she was trying to throw things here and there, but that's silly.
Yeah.
But I just hope that the FBI does something about this, because for these ladies to feel so entitled that they can go and do this and expect nothing to happen, nor to be accountable for their behavior.
Yeah.
And if they start making women accountable for what they do and what they say, a lot of this craziness will stop.
Yeah, I agree. Because they're pushing the leave all women.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't. I'm a woman. I'm telling you, you shouldn't leave all women.
Yeah, and I talk to women who believe in that. Oh my goodness, it's so hard because they are so brainwashed. And you know, I say, well, if you say believe all women, and then a woman says something about your and all these women have sons. This is what gets me. This is what really gets me is that you have these women that have a hatred towards men.
Oh
And these
no.
women are raising boys with this level of hatred. And you love your son, but you hate your son. You hate him because he's a guy, but you love him because he is your child. What
I don't know
conflict?
if I can say what I want to say out loud on here, so I'm just gonna keep it quiet because it might like make me seem like I'm homophobic or something, but I'm not.
Well,
I'm not definitely, but I'll save that for like a private conversation. Maybe Discord, bring it up, but.
okay. No, I most definitely understand it because I've said it and people are like, well, you shouldn't feel that way. Look, I have a son, I have nephews, I have cousins, I have a, a brother, I have male cousins, and I know what women are like. And if you don't check a woman when you see the slightest thing, if you don't check her right away and let her know that whatever you're planning on doing, don't do it. Because I said this in, whew, I have what, almost 300 videos? If you go back to the very beginning, I think I was like 20 videos and I talked about Amber Heard and I talked about my brother's ex-girlfriend and how I had to intervene in that. And then if I didn't, it would have been something completely different. And sometimes you have to intervene. You may not, he didn't like it. He was pissed off at me. But later on, he did thank me. He didn't like it, but he did thank me.
Like my brother's girlfriend, she tried to say that my brother scratched himself all over. I'm like, he did not do that to himself.
No.
And I'm crazy, so she's lucky I don't live close to her.
Well, just make sure that, you know, I didn't attack her or anything like that. No. But I let her know that you're not going to just do anything though.
I don't know. I don't even know where she lived, but I would have like called the cops. Like he wouldn't give me any information about her house or anything, so I couldn't do anything. And my mom was like attacking her, and it's like, you know, my mom's like, at first she was like, oh, it happened, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, Mom, he did not do that to himself.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but these cases, like the Marilyn Manson case, really shows how some men, not all, but some men get abused and are not that type of guy who would go and say, okay, this happened to me.
Yeah.
No.
I love her. She's my mom. Yeah, but look what she did to you. Look what she did. You need to cut those feelings.
Yeah.
And take a step back and worry about yourself.
All right.
You know, but yeah, I don't remember. Your title gave me a heart attack today because
don't have a heart attack, please don't.
He is not going to lose. He is going to win this case. Like, I don't know, putting icing on a cake.
I didn't mean to almost give you a heart attack. You know, I just want to bring this out because I'm looking, because I'm talking to other people because I'm on Twitter and here, and I have there are some people saying to me, "Oh well, like, oh, Marilyn Manson, he did this, he did this, he did this." I said, "Okay, he did that. Now, can you prove it?"
Yeah. Where's the proof?
Well, she said this. No. Can you prove it? Now, me, and you know, I tell them, they're like, well, you shouldn't be like that. And then they start attacking my weight. Well, that's why, because you're big. No. That's because you don't have an argument.
Yeah, we don't have an argument. First it was, oh, check, just watch the X-rays and then you'll see all the facts.
It's a shame.
If they had proof, if any one of them had proof, it would be all over.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no proof, I'm like, someone was like, well, there's videos of Manson, like, tearing down doors, and I'm like, okay, did anybody get hurt? Like, no? Okay, and then I can't even find videos of that. I mean, I'm sure, like, you know.
You would be able to find something.
Yeah.
And it's and like I said, I believe Evan Rachel Wood was the ringleader of all this stuff. Just based upon the ridiculousness of what they were saying. I mean, even if you look at Amber Heard and using a broken bottle and never went to the hospital.
Oh yeah, that one was like, I was like, oh my God. No, she did not just freaking say that. No, she would have been bleeding. She would have been in so much pain. She would have had to go.
Yeah, and right there took me back to a book that I read that was written in the 90s, and what happened in Central America. It was called in el infierno, in hell, and it talked about the instability of El Salvador and Nicaragua at that time and the atrocities that were done to women. And I'm like, she is going to sit here and say that Johnny Depp had some kind of knowledge of torture. No. No.
I mean, like,
you can't make that stuff up.
Would have not went to a hospital and survived that. So, I mean, like, without a lot of pain and someone noticed. And they're really friends. And your family loves you. They would reach out to someone. It's just my thought on that. I'm gonna read that book. Check it out. But I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is over the years of stuff that I was reading. I like to read all type of stuff, especially in that era, because I was doing videos on with politics with Laura, and I'm so glad that that channel's starting to grow. Oh my goodness, woo! I finally got 300 subscribers. I've been at like 47 for a little while, so now, yeah, it's really growing, and I get all. You have to be right in politics or people would slobber knock you. Like here, if I'm not right here, you all would hold my feet to the fire, and which you should. So I most definitely do my best, but oh my goodness, the level of fighting, not fighting, but debating and just bringing sense and logic. Like I was talking about Candace Owens and how I believe that she's a fraud. And it's not because she's a Republican. No. It is because if you start off with a lie, I don't believe you. And at first I did until I'm starting, I'm like, there's some things that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Until I started to really look into her back. I said, oh my God, now I get it. I get it. So I've been getting slobber knockered because I made a 1 minute video. Now, you know that my videos are maybe 10 minutes or longer. And then when I do present, I always present facts to where you can find what I got in the description box, right?
Right.
Well, they're like, oh, you're a fraud. You're making this up. You hate Black women. I'm like, what? What? No, I don't like liars. It's like you called me what is it, a liberal fascist, and then I was called, oh man. I'm like, okay, instead of calling me names, what did I say that got you so triggered?
Yeah.
Let's discuss it.
Right.
Now,
that's no reason to jump straight to.
Oh, look, that right there, one guy even said, oh, well, you're fat and blah. I said, look, I have another channel called Big Girl Diary. I would love for you to come up on my channel and cam up, and then we can go ahead and discuss this.
None say that.
Huh? Oh, you know I said that. You know I said that. You know I did. I got a great sense of humor. I mean, if you can make fun of me, cam up so I can go ahead and, give you a little bit. Because I do play the dozens. Oh, look, hey. I keep it really tame. But I'm like, I do play the dozens. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the mama part. I'm talking about the you part. But I know, and I'm gonna put 10% of my reputation on YouTube on the line and say that Marilyn Manson is going to win not only these motions, but he's going to win the lawsuit because.
I'm doing like a happy dance through my hallway.
Huh?
Oh God, I've been doing happy dances. I've been like twerking at my mom and
No, just look at what on Discord I put up it's going to be some reading, but whenever you defend him, now you have the court cases to defend him. Now you have actual facts where you can say, look, no, that's not what she said. She said this and this. But he's going to win because everything what she did. I mean, Ilma Gore, down to her own sister, her twin sister said, oh, no.
Yeah, and I freaking love her. Ashley Morgan Smith line basically with that text message said that, she was pressured into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Greta Ofola has already come out and said, I received an email, and, that was the result of the meeting that she was invited to, is this huge thing against Manson. Like,
One person I can't find, and I had the woman's information, I had her declaration, but for some reason I can't find it. It was the young lady who worked with Evan Rachel Wood on Phoenix Rising. And she was writing her dissertation on Hollywood women being abused. And she used Evan Rachel Wood. Now, the info that she has, trying to include that into her dissertation, I would strongly suggest her to rip it up and start over again, because you cannot bring lies into a dissertation, because you are contributing to a body of work and research. Man, I could only imagine how mad she is. I could only imagine how mad she is. I know she's like, what? This is a lot. What? I could only imagine, because going through those higher levels of education, you have to have not only facts, but they must be, whether if it's quantitative or qualitative, it has to be proven to be true. That's all. But
I write down like all my links. I write down like everything. I have at least like the first couple like I like the memorandum like wrote down. I have the Edward Woods notice of special motion to strike and special motion to strike portion of
Yeah, her special motion to strike, the anti-slap. Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-slap. Which once I found out what anti-slap was, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
You should have went back to my other video. I had explained that.
That's not even gonna work.
I had explained that in my previous videos. I think like four live streams ago, I went into that. What anti-slap was, what the different terminologies, what they were. And I'm like, I know this is boring, but it's going to help you. I know it's boring, but I'm going to give you the last word. I'll give you the final thoughts. How do you think this is going to go?
I think this is going to go as, they're trying all their stuff, they're doing all their stuff. They're going to continue to object. You mentioned earlier that on the gore there were so many objections that, that was on to the court. And I think that's just going to pile up, and eventually the court's going to be like, look, whatever you got is what we're going with, and they're going to hear Manson out, and hopefully, that Evan is treated like a U.S. citizen and put behind bars with Elma Gore and anyone involved with that FBI letter and all the smear campaign, because that's what I hope. And that's what should happen. That's my final thought.
You said a lot, and I totally agree. You said a lot, and I most definitely do appreciate you calling up and giving us your thoughts on the case.
I chat every day. I learn a lot.
Well, thank you.
I get to tell you my thoughts and have some emotional support, because as a Manson fan, this is very traumatic. One minute he's there, and then the next he's like, I'll be able to post more. I'm like, what? Hold on, let me dig into this, because no, just no. And Evan Rachel Wood, I was like, what the? This little lion,
I'm going to say this. I'm not really big on Marilyn Manson's music, but I do defend when people are wrong or wronged. Oh, yeah. And I have to say one thing about Marilyn Manson's fans. You all are awesome.
Yeah, they call us weird.
Awesome. I haven't felt like, for me, coming from a different genre, and not only genre, but people look at me like, you're a black lady that likes Marilyn Manson. What's wrong with you? He's evil. I get wild stuff, right? But the fans, I get some of the most beautiful responses, like within my Instagram, and I get inbox saying some wonderful things and saying thank you, keep up the good work, fighting the good fight, because Marilyn Manson is innocent. And that's the reason why I put so much time and effort, because he is innocent. It doesn't matter if he is a shock rocker and he, whatever he does on stage, people like it because they pay him to do it. So he's doing something right. But he's a decent human being. And not only that, you all are just awesome and just such misunderstood people. Misunderstood. And I'm just like, I tell people, I'm like, look, you have no idea what you're talking about. Because I defend Marilyn Manson, and not only defending him, I come across his fans, and you think that his fans are some devil worshippers. No, they are decent people that are just trying to live life and listen to the music that they enjoy. Like, you listen to the stuff that you listen to, and whatever that may be. And I'm not going to say any music, so I don't want anybody saying you're against that. No. And another thing, what I like about Marilyn Manson fans. Marilyn Manson fans speak from facts, and even if they don't speak from facts, they have a belief in what they believe are the facts, and they don't attack you like uh some of Evan Rachel Wood fans that I engage with on Twitter. And they're like, well, you're a big girl. And I'm like, did you didn't see that? You didn't see that? But well, no. No, I know. It doesn't bother me because I know where it comes from. But the thing is this: you don't cam up and we can make fun of each other.
I did try to give Evan like the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, since they're like partying, like, did he do it? Like, is it true? Like, I'm going through everything. I'm like, no, it's not true. And then, everything's starting to come out. And like you said, there's so many sweet Manson supporters out there who have the information and they have it available for you. And, they're so willing to like chat about the everything. Like, so like all of it came out and it's like, okay.
Oh, I hope it's televised. I hope it's televised because they're going to have to do this in public. They're going to have to explain themselves in public as they went to the public. They're going to have to explain it in public. I'm sorry, forgive me. I didn't mean to be rude.
Oh, no. I think you brought up a good point there because they were so fast to avoid putting it in court. And then they took it straight to the social media and they're deleting stuff now. And, but, those beautiful fans, they have screenshots and stuff still out there. So.
I don't think that they learned from the Amber Heard case that even though that she deleted it, they were able to get it.
Yeah, and I don't want to be compared to Amber. Wait, they said Evan said she doesn't want to be. Yeah. I'm like, well, here we go. And then she's out signing those autographs. I have to buy that deal. But it was funny. And someone's like, do you support Amber Heard? Or something like that. And she was doing something like, turns to a book. I'm like, oops. Get out of here quick. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. It's really not funny, but like I have to come back at all just a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and do my final thoughts. And I do appreciate you coming up. I thank you so much, Lexi.
No problem. It was fun.
Okay.
I'll try to catch the next one. I missed the past couple, but yeah, I'll be here for like the last couple of thoughts and I got there too.
Okay.
Nice talking to you.
Likewise.
All right. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Thank you for calling in, Lexi. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your points. You made a lot of valid points, and I appreciate that. Appreciate that a whole lot. Now, for my final thoughts, this has been a rough road from when I started this up until this point, and going through any court case or process, it does take time to go through the facts and waiting on the court dates. But having said all that, I most definitely do believe that Marilyn Manson will prevail because based on Evan Rachel Wood's declaration, Ilma Gore's declaration, and looking at the other declarations. Now you could say, well, declarations is simply just a declaration and it doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're just submitting something to the court. True. That is very true. But one thing about declarations is that it's going to be used within the court. So, and even used in an anti-slap that Marilyn Manson was able to use Evan Rachel Wood's declarations in the anti-slap. And he's going to prevail, because you cannot do stuff like this that is so outrageous that, and even the courts said it was outrageous. Even Ilma Gore having over 100 objections. And we can go over that in Discord for my members on YouTube. My cookies. Oh, thank you, Lexi. Thank you very much. You have to be able to prove it. And Marilyn Manson, I gotta say, was a smart guy. He took a lot of abuse, but he sat back and he let those ladies dig their own ditch. Like I said in previous videos, when you're digging a ditch for someone, make sure you dig one for yourself, because you're going to fall in before they do. It always works out that way. Always does. So on that note, I want to thank you for stopping by and for participating in the live stream. I do appreciate your presence. And if you would like to see more, please like, subscribe. And if you want to get deeper into the case, I go deeper with my cookies that are members to my YouTube channel. On that note, thank you.